Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout, and I was looking through my page kits that I have left in my stash, for making layouts for YouTube, and this sheet was kind of sticking out and I was like, oh my goodness, like I had no idea when I put this page kit together. By the way, I got these papers at the dollar store. I'd say about a year ago. It was 2 for $1. It was from Bo Bunny. And I didn't go crazy. I didn't buy a whole bunch, but I did buy some. And I really like this collection here. I think I only even bought like one sheet of everything because I was like, you know what? I have tons of papers at home, but these papers were so stinking cute. I was like, I gotta get, and they're only one-sided. I gotta get some of them and try to use those. And then I put them in page kits not that long ago. So when I saw that, it reminded me of the trip that we just took at the beginning of August. And this little city that we went to, it's a few hours from where we are, like 3 hours away, 2.5, 3 hours, 3 hours with the camper, because you can't literally like fly down the highway with a trailer, right? And but it felt like we were in another, I don't know, it felt like we were in another, I don't know, I don't want to say another world because it wasn't another world, but it was like this little vacation town, that, oh, isn't that gorgeous? It looks like it was meant to go with this. And that was a Studio Calico sheet, so not even close. But I thought if I put that border there, I think I got some of that blue border that was next to it. So let's try to see if I can take this off. This trimmer will take tiny slivers off. So I didn't do a very good job this time though. I think I made this sliver a little too small. And I have some blue on this side too. It's like I don't want to take too much off because I like the width. It fits really well on that border. But anyway, so we'll do that. We'll try to clean it up here or smooth the edges. I like how this looks like that. Then this pattern paper, how stinking cute is that? It's got little deer and stuff. Anyway, this little town, the deer walk in the town like they own the place. Like this was on the side of the road. We were walking. The deer was just like, this was somebody's lawn. It was just kind of eating on the lawn. And then that was, his buddy. And then across the street, there was like 5 of them. And then all of a sudden you see this one. He's just crossing the street, And it's funny because they watch for cars and they stop if they see a car. So they're very tame. And this is a mother and a fawn. And we were on a trail and we were like literally this close. Like they never moved. They just kind of looked at us like, oh, hi. Yeah, hi. So it was awesome. We love nature, right? Like we love anything. I mean, if it was a bear, I wouldn't have been as haha cute. Because no bears. Although I saw a bear this year. This is wild and free. I didn't have a chance to take a picture of it because we were on the highway. And I said to my husband, I said, oh, careful moose, because moose will will just run out in front of your car. And I mean, it's devastating. Those animals are huge. They will wreck your vehicle. People, you know, die all the time from hitting moose. So I was like, oh, careful, moose. And then I was like, no, it's not. It's a bear. He had his head stuck in bee's nest. And when he took his head out, his head was just covered with bees all the way around. And he was like, oh my goodness. So we were traveling, you know, 100K on the highway. So there's no way that I was going to get a picture of that bear, but it had been a long time since I've seen a bear. And I can tell you, that is kind of the way I like to see them. Sort of in the rear view mirror. Because, yeah, they kind of scared me. We do a lot of hiking, so I'm always thinking, oh my goodness, you know, what if? I've always wanted to get like one of those horns so that you can make some noise. I should do that, because then I wouldn't have to worry as much. We could just blow that horn and get him to, I don't want him any harm, but I don't want him to harm me either. Okay, so I have Stay Free here, and I have Wild and Free. So if I could, maybe this one, I could probably cut it the same size. This one's going to be a little harder, so maybe I can think of something else for this. This, I know I want to put it there, so let's just do that. Let's just get this puppy down. And I'm going to center it just like that. And then I have this pattern paper and I have this pattern paper. And I'd like to use both. And where this one is a little I'm wondering if I cut this down the same size and I can put them together and mount the whole thing on pink. I think that's what I'll do. Let's measure this photo and I can cut this down to the same size. Because it's going to take a lot to, that's a bold pattern paper. That's almost 3.5. By almost 3.5. Okay, I can do that. Okay, it's just the thing before 3.5. So I'm going to cut a little bit here. Where's 3.5? Right there. Is that going to make it so it's close enough? Okay. Let's do the test. Yeah, it's good. I might have to cut the photo a little bit. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to glue this on and I'll mat the whole thing on some pink and then it'll stick out. That's good. Glue this down. Because that is some mighty bold pattern paper. But we're gonna tame it down. So yes, our first walk when we got there, we didn't know that about this place. This was our first time ever going to this city or this town, I guess. And let me just, I don't know how I want this. How about, let me cut a square out of it. Let's start with I don't think I'm going to need 5 by 5, but let's start with 5 by 5 because I can always trim it down, but I can't make it. I think I want that deer in there. So I'll flip it over. Okay, because I wanted that little deer. If I don't like it, then I can always use the leftovers. Don't think I want to mat the whole photo because we're going to lose a lot of the animals on there. So I kind of like that. Let's try the other way. No, I like, because I want to keep this and this sort of apart. Now I have this other pattern paper. Do I want to keep the lines up or this way? Do I want to do this? Or do I want to do this? I think I like this way. So let's cut, that's probably about 4, right? Yeah. So let's cut 4.5. I want it to go this way. Because again, I can cut away, let's do 5. I can cut away, but it's really hard to put it back together. I don't think I'll use the whole length, but do I want to go right to the pink? Or do I want just a sliver? It's pretty busy. So I think I want to go 4.5 because I find it's kind of a lot. So 4.5. And then I'll cut it down somewhat. 4.5. And then I'll just take a chunk out. I'm not even going to measure. Okay. It's not as busy, so we'll take it. Okay, I might tweak it some more. I might tweak it some more. Now, let's see what we have as far as embellishments. I have my chair here, so give me a second and I will. Oh, that's kind of neat. The best day, top 3 things, who was there, what we did. That's cool. Let's see if I can incorporate that somehow. Maybe not, because my sheet, my pattern paper is kind of full. Yeah, I think I like it that way, so I can see the little deer here. Okay. So I think I'll do a cluster with this. I don't really have a spot to journal too, so I got to think about that. So I don't want to put too much stuff here because I end up covering that. I could take a grid paper because I don't want to have too much journaling to say here. Okay, so if that's, what did I say this was? 5 by 5. I want to make this one a little bigger. So how about if I make this 5.5 by 5.5 to start with? Just so that one kind of goes inside the other. Like that. And this lays over top. Yeah, like that. And then, you know, all that. And it just gives me a little bit of journaling, but it kind of finishes off. It felt like there was something missing here because there was something on top. So by doing that, it gives me a spot to do my journaling. It gives me a home to do an embellishment cluster. So that totally balanced it off. There's a lot of blue embellishments in here, and I'm not sure if I want to go that route. We will see. But I always say, don't spend too much time, you know, on the background like that. Once you have something that you somewhat like, just start gluing down. Otherwise, we'd be here all day. Be here all day. So today we're camping right now, but it's like 10 minutes from our house, 10-15 minutes, depending on the traffic and everything. So we got here, I would say it was about 8:30. We kind of didn't sleep in because we were still awake at 7:45, but we didn't rush. And because today we have to stay here till, have an appointment at 2. Have a massage. Oh, I can't say that, like, that's not a sad thing. That's a very good thing. So I'll leave here around, probably around 1:30, maybe a little bit before, because I might go to the dollar store. There's a dollar store right by our house. And there's a couple things that I'm like, oh, we need that for the trailer. I know the season's almost done, but next year when we start our season, I don't want to be, again, that we don't have that. And it's from the dollar store, so it's not, I'm not going to spend a bunch of moolah. I want to use that banner. I really like it. I probably want to use some of these birds because, I mean, it's all part of nature. There's tons of birds there. See, this is when I printed, when I sent my stuff to be printed, and they didn't do borderless. So there's a little white edge. So you have to make sure when you print our digital files that you do borderless, and then you don't get that white edge. I'm still using them. I'm okay with it. Okay, I think all I have is blue labels in here, which is okay. I mean, there's blue in that pattern, so we will go with it. And there's blue in the birds, so we'll add a little bit of blue. I don't like that little clippy thing, so we will cut her down. So we got an embellishment cluster here. I'm thinking right here. Oh, I didn't glue my pattern. Did I glue that one? Yep. So I'm thinking right there. Haven't really committed on that one yet. I'm going to use this as my title today. wild and free. I don't know how wild they are, but they are free. They actually have, they were telling us that they actually have like it's a problem. They're overrun with deer. Like we would see people's gardens like half eaten and stuff because they have to put fences to stop the deer from eating their gardens. But us as tourists, it was awesome, like to see deer all over the place. Like it didn't matter where we walked. We just knew that when we went for a walk, we would encounter deer, and then they would just look at us like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like they just stood there, like the mom and the fawn, they just looked at us, and we stopped and we took a bunch of pictures, and they were stinking cute. And every time we went out, we would see a whole bunch. Now, the first time we went out, which we had no idea, I was like, oh my goodness, look, right behind us. Like we had just passed there, and it was in the middle of like, it's not called Main Street, their main street, it's called Water Street. But right on Water Street, there was a deer crossing. He was just walking along, crossing the street. We're like, oh my gosh, there's a deer right there. And on that first walk, which a lot of these pictures we're taking on our first walk, we counted 10. Now, we kept seeing them throughout the trip, but after a while, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have like a gazillion pictures of deer. So after a while, I kind of stopped taking pictures of every single one that we saw, because that's all my camera would have, or my phone would have had, was just a gazillion pictures of deer. But we saw some every time. This kind of has the blue. I don't have any more labels. And when I'm doing a layout like this, I try to use what I have in my kit. So I'm going to try and make it work. There's this label. I don't think I'm going to use this little card. It's cute, but I don't think I'm going to use it. I'm not going to need those viewfinders. See the difference? Like these viewfinders were printed borderless, and then these weren't. So when they're printed borderless, it's prints fine. Okay, so while I'm just gluing this down, I want to remind you that my Scrapathon class is starting next Tuesday. And I'm so excited because it's so much fun. There is, so many people. A lot of people don't join the Facebook group, but I would highly suggest it. Really motivates everybody. Here, I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to have it for here. Really motivates everybody to get layouts done. I think, in the summer, I find that it's the perfect time to take a lot of pictures. But I don't know about you, but I find that my numbers of pages in the summer tends to go down. So this is a perfect opportunity. You get, challenges every day. Everybody motivates everybody, like, oh, great job. You can do it. And we get 30 pages done in 30 days. And the reason that it's for sale now is that you can get prepped. You can get your page kits done. there's, I think it's 2.5, close to 2.5 hours of videos right now available the day that you purchase it. And it's all the prep videos. So you're prepping your pages. Then with that, I'm going to do some Facebook Lives. The first one is on September 7th. And we get, you know, to do a page together. So you get 30 pages, one a day. And then we also do Facebook Live. So there's going to be extras there. Plus, you get 5 free digital files. So that's $10 worth. So you get that right off the bat. And there is, I can't remember which ones I gave away now, but there's 5 digital files. I know there's a tiny letter. There's a file for tiny letters. There's cameras, arrows, frames. And what's the other one? There's 5 of them. And then a bunch of Facebook Lives and 30 videos. And this year, because I do listen because I ask for feedback and I listen to feedback. I appreciate your feedback. And, you know, a few people said, I wish you would do a few, you know, that are longer videos. There is 30 videos. So this year, what I'm doing is a third of them. So at least 10 of them will be real time. So depending on how long it takes me to put the layout together, that's how long the video is going to be. And then also, I'm going to do another 10 of them. So that's going to make it 20 that I'm going to go real time for at least the challenge. So if the challenge is something mixed media, well, during the mixed media, I'll be real time, and then the rest of it will be fast forward and voiceover. So it's a different format this year. So there should be, as far as number of hours of videos, there should be a whole lot more hours of videos. Okay. I'm going to go with these. I'm going to put those little ones. I'm going to put some at each. So these are pretty close, but I was kind of limited of where I could put. I could have put one with this, but even that, it would have covered some of this border, and I kind of like it. What I can do is move this one a little higher. I have no issues with moving stuff. If I look at stuff and I'm like, oh, I kind of put that close there. It's okay to pick it up and move it. And then it puts a little bit more distance between those two. This one, I want to keep it there because it's kind of with the photo. So I want to keep it there. But now they're on opposite. So then you still have your triangle. Your pictures are in the middle. Okay. And these are so tiny. Little enamel dots. Okay. And I can tell you, I've been really good at doing my journaling as I'm finishing my pages. And actually, a lot of times I'm putting them directly in my albums right away. Okay. Okay, that's cute. If I had a lot of journaling, I could start here and then go down, but I think I'm just going to put the journaling here. And that's what I like about this grid paper, because I'm printing them on 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I can make it whatever size I want, and then I can use it as to mat my, mat my photos, and in this case also pattern paper. So I can use it as a pattern paper also, and I can make it whatever size I want. And our grid papers, I think, yes, they're $1.15 right now, because everything, all our digital are 25% off. And then you can print it over and over and over again. So I love that. Okay. I think that is it. I'm going to use the Wild and Free for my title. It's right on the card. It fits the layout. Oh, I don't want to throw my enamel dots in there. I want to put those with my enamel dots in my little container. But that's what I love about that little container. See how fast I was able to clean off my desk? Boom, it's cleaned off. It's in there. Now I'm ready to move on to the next page. But that's it. That's going to complete this layout. And the link for the class and all the digital embellishments, it is in the description box below. Or you can go in your browser and just type in NicoleJones911.com and go to my shop or store. And then it's divided in two, like there's two places you can go. There's classes and embellishments. And the class right now is 25% off, so it's $30. And if you've purchased my class before, go check your email first. I also gave a $5 off coupon. So really, between the coupon, the 25% off, and the 5 digital prints, you can do this class with 30 plus videos for $15. So I hope to see you in class, and I want to thank you for all your support. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.